nothing but tear down black man. Look at it. He's nothing given. You've never seen 50 give nobody no flowers, no respect. He just play on people downfall. Diddy, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule. Yeah. Now Big Meech. You've never seen 50 say nothing positive.
Looks like the drama between 50 Cent and Big Meech just got way messier and way more personal.
We're making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was going to be able to do it. You thought you was going to be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up.
Big Meech came out swinging, clowning 50, and saying he's basically going broke behind this whole feud. Yep, he really said that. Words flying that Rick Ross didn't just sit back, he dropped some straight up heat. He claimed 50's out here struggling to even keep his new G-Unit studio running. Ross didn't stop there. He threw shade at 50's credit, saying it's so bad the man can't even get approved for a loan. And then came the real bomb. Ross said if 50 doesn't shut his mouth, he just might snatch his masters. That's next level bold. But let's not forget, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. He wasn't gonna sit quiet while folks tried to drag his name through the dirt. He came back loud.
50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow, got that paperwork, you know the vibe.
Dropping hints that he's got the real receipts and plans to expose who's really broken this game. He's out here barking back hard. Still, people online been wondering, is 50 actually running low on funds? Like, is the money really drying up? Could Ross be telling the truth? Or is he just trying to mess with 50's head and throw him off balance? The internet's in a frenzy trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, folks say Big Meech and Ross sitting back laughing, acting like they finally knocked 50 off his throne. Word is, they've been joking around, saying he can't even keep the studio lights on.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was going to be able to do it. You thought you was going to be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters. But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was going to be able to do it. You thought you was going to be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you want to make your mama one of them walking stars thing put down there. Your mama live, her own walking star. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans, and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G-Unit studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. You're hustling.
Some are even saying he might come crawling back once that money runs out. Talking about mercy and all that. But hold up. Is this just wishful thinking? Cause last we heard, 50 Cent was still sitting on billionaire status. That kind of bag don't vanish overnight just cause of some petty beef or loudmouth talking about who snitched. This could either be all smoke or the real beginning of a downfall. And if you've been following this madness, you already know Rick Ross is right in the middle of it. Things got wild after Big Meech teamed up with Ross for a big welcome home concert that was supposed to bring in serious cash for both of them. But out of nowhere, boom, the whole show got canceled. No real reason given. Next thing you know, everybody started pointing fingers at 50. A lot of people believe he was behind the scenes, trying to block Meech from making that money, just because he teamed up with Ross, 50's old-time enemy. Of course, 50 denied the whole thing, said he had nothing to do with it. But the streets, they ain't buying it. Rick Ross wasn't holding back. He came for 50 Cent with no filter. Called him a hurt hoe and told him to stop crying just because he wasn't part of the wins Meech and Ross were stacking up together. That level of shade had the whole game watching like, did he really just say that? And let's be real, 50's never liked this Meech-Ross duo. From day one, he was throwing punches online, calling Meech a snitch, and roasting Ross with that old Officer Ricky nickname. In 50's world, if you're riding with Ross, you can't be trusted, straight up. But this beef didn't stay at surface level. It dove real deep. 50 swore he had paperwork proving Big Meech actually gave up names to shave off some prison time. And just when folks thought the drama hit its peak, 50 dropped a bomb. He said he's working on a tell-all doc, and guess who it's about? Tammy Cowens, the one woman who might be holding all the real dirt. Now here's where it gets wild. Tammy wasn't just some background figure in Meech's life. Word is, their connection ran way deeper than business. And Meech sold his entire life rights to her. That means legally, Tammy's the only one who can greenlight anything using his name. Books, movies, series, the whole thing. That's serious power. So if 50 and Tammy got something brewing, Meech might be sweating for real. Cause according to 50, Meech messed up big when he let that relationship with Tammy crash and burn. Now she's talking loud. 50 says she's spilling everything. No filters, no favors, just facts. Meanwhile, Ross and Meech been out here acting cocky, dancing around like they winning without 50 in the picture. Ross even said he's dropping his own BMF movie and making a fat check off it. That move came right after 50 announced he was axing the BMF show altogether, saying Meech and Lil Meech started acting wild and throwing off the whole vibe. But here's what matters. Tammy still owns the rights to Big Meech's story, so legally, nobody can put out a BMF show or movie without her sign-off. That's exactly why she teamed up with 50 in the first place to make the Black Mafia family series happen. And let's not lie, that show was a hit. When Big Meech cozied up to Rick Ross, 50 Cent took it as a straight slap in the face, and he didn't just throw shade, he went for the jugular. He yanked the plug on the whole BMF series just like that. Cold move, right? But here's the wild twist. Lil Meech, Big Meech's own son, was the lead actor in that show, and 50 was the one cutting him checks the whole time. Lil Meech didn't walk away with pocket change either. He raked in over $5 million from the role. But instead of flipping that money smart or stacking it for the long haul, dude went full flex mode. Exotic rides, diamond chains, designer from head to toe. He blew through that cash like it was falling from the sky. And while his dad's locked up behind bars, struggling with nothing but time on his hands, you'd think Lil Meech would have held something down for his pops. Maybe stash a little to help him out when he gets out? Nope, not even close. That money disappeared faster than a Snapchat story. Zero savings, zero investments, just smoke. It's like Lil Meech really believed the BMF checks would never stop coming. But when 50 pulled the rug, reality smacked him right in the face.
Lil Meech ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, man, nigga, f*** you. Nigga, that's my daddy. Nigga, f*** you. Nigga. Let's go to war.
Yeah, you made my son $5 million. How much you made, though? So you gonna stop? You gonna stop? Yeah, you made, yeah. You ain't just, yeah, come on.
My dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half, like, 50 literally looked out for my dad more than people that my dad gave millions to.
Even Tony Yayo had to jump in, putting Lil Meech on blast for blowing millions instead of getting his grown man game right. So when 50 really turned the heat up on Big Meech, Lil Meech slid into his DMs trying to calm things down, tried to play peacemaker for his dad, saying the whole Rick Ross link-up wasn't deep, just a quick move to get some money in Big Meech's pocket while they waited for the next season to drop. Lil Meech messaged, "I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own ish, but I never switched up on you. F Ross. But he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet ish is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life." Sounded heartfelt. But 50 wasn't feeling none of it. He hit back ruthless, posted that DM for the whole world to see with the caption, "What next season?" Just like that, 50 iced the entire BMF series. No heads up, no talk, just cold-blooded cancellation. Then came the nuclear drop. 50 announced he's moving on with a whole new BMF project, this time teaming up with Tammy Cowens for a raw documentary expose. And get this, he's calling it out loud, saying he's about to reveal the truth about Big Screech, his slick diss nickname for Big Meech. That hit Meech and Lil Meech hard. No more BMF money rolling in, and with that $5 million already up in flames, Lil Meech got nothing to fall back on. No savings, no backup plan, just dust.
Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars, so he does not understand where the money went, how Lil Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail.
I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something, because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind.
Now let's talk about Big Meech. After sitting behind bars for years on serious federal charges, what kind of legit hustle can he even catch now? Ain't nobody handing out dream jobs to former street kings. His only shot at keeping that flashy lifestyle alive? Lil Meech would have to come back strong, either on screen or spitting bars. But after this crazy fallout with 50 Cent, that comeback looking real shaky. And guess who slides back into the mix? Rick Ross, of course. Ross, aka BMF Rose, popped off quick, saying he's about to drop his own BMF series and claimed it would crush anything G-Unit ever touched. That's bold talk. But there's a major catch. 50 Cent owns the BMF franchise. Ross talking slick, but legally, he can't make a single move without getting the nod from 50. And let's be honest, that permission ain't ever coming. TMZ even confirmed it. Ross is blocked from touching the BMF brand without 50's say-so. And with all this heat, 50 wouldn't sign off even if there was $1 million bag on the table. That door's slammed shut. But this beef didn't cool down. Nah, it exploded! As soon as 50 cut off the money pipeline to Big Meech's fam, the loyalty vanished. Both Meech and Lil Meech flipped quick, and suddenly they're out here linking up with 50's biggest ops like it's some kind of petty revenge tour. Next thing the internet sees, Lil Meech posted up in the club, chilling with Rick Ross, all smiles. And yeah, those pics weren't private. He wanted 50 to see them. Straight disrespect. Like he was sending a message, I picked my side. But they didn't stop there. They went all in. Big Meech and Lil Meech showed up with Floyd Mayweather, a name that's been on 50's hit list for years. Then boom, Lil Meech posted a photo of him and Floyd with the caption, "Real Power." That wasn't just a shot. That was a grenade at 50's entire TV empire. And if that wasn't enough, Lil Meech dropped another pic. This time throwing up the shush emoji, like him and Floyd got some secret moves lined up. The message was loud and clear. He's riding for his pops and taking aim at 50 every chance he gets. And here's the wildest part. This the same dude who was crying in 50 Cent's DMs not too long ago, talking loyalty and begging forgiveness over linking with Rick Ross. He was acting like they were family. But that's what happens when too many folks start whispering in your ear. Suddenly it's all switch-ups, fake love, and moves for clout. Big Meech and Lil. Meech straight forgot who really had their back when it counted. While Meech was locked up, it was 50 putting food on the table and money in their pockets. But as soon as Meech touched down, loyalty vanished like it never existed. Even Boozy had to step in and speak on it. He didn't like how Lil Meech was acting all soft, trying to play both sides like nobody would notice. Boozy hit 50 with a message saying, if it was him in Lil Meech's shoes, there wouldn't be no confusion. He would have stood 10 toes down next to his pops. No questions asked. Then 50 finally broke the silence and unleashed the real story. He laid it all out and made it clear why he felt straight up betrayed after seeing Big Meech and his son kicking it with his biggest ops like everything was cool. 50 said, I did more for Meech than anyone in his life, Boozy. That's why he said what he said. When he got locked up, I was the first one he called. I bailed him out, every time. Then I see him laughing at posts dissing me and I'm like, nah, he a snake too. He belonged with him. That wasn't just hurt feelings. 50 was talking about real-time investments. He stepped in like a father figure when Big Meech was behind bars. He sent Lil Meech to acting school, cleaned him up when he was spiraling, kept his pockets full so he wouldn't be tempted to hit the streets. That's deep! But according to 50, everything shifted when Big Meech got out. That's when things started falling apart. While 50 was telling Lil Meech to chill, stack his money, and focus on the long game, Big Meech was gassing him up with old war stories and bad advice. 50 said, "I think he was uncomfortable with me and Meech's bond. I'm telling Meech to stop messing with drugs. He telling him it's cool, 'cause he used to do it too. I'm telling him to stop blowing cash. He out here bragging about how much money he wasted. But it goes even deeper. 50 revealed he had to personally send Lil Meech to rehab. That's how bad it got. He said actor Russell Hornsby saw it firsthand. Lil Meech showed up to set so high, he ended up puking during a weapons test. Can you imagine that? On a professional set? This wasn't just some industry beef, this was personal. 50 was watching someone he helped raise fall apart right in front of him, and all he got back was shade. Then Ian, one of 50's close sources, dropped a bomb, said Lil Meech had Whippet stashed in his truck. 50 had to Google it. Like, what the hell is a Whippet? He finds out it's some BB gun cartridge people been getting high off. That was the last straw. After everything 50 gave them, guidance, money, chances, they flipped the script and started trolling. Crazy behavior. But it didn't stop there. Nah, they turned the heat up. Rick Ross came swinging again, back on his troll vibes, clowning 50 Cent hard, said 50's broke, can't even finish building his G-Unit studio. Ross out here claiming 50's credit is so bad, not even a bank will touch him. According to Ross, 50's out here cash dry and stuck. And Ross didn't stop there. In another video, he straight up threatened to buy 50's masters, just so 50 could finally have a few dollars in his pockets. Disrespect at max volume. Word is, 50 was heated when he saw that post. Furious. He started talking about dropping receipts to show the world who's really broke out here. And in classic 50 fashion, he laughed off the idea that Big Meech had any impact on his money. He basically said, "Y'all think this beef means something to my pockets? Please." Let's be honest. How much weight does Big Meech really carry these days? Yeah, he was that guy back in the day, no doubt. But this ain't 2005, it's 2025. The economy's a disaster. Folks are out here just trying to survive. Diddy's locked up, and everybody's more worried about rent than some ex-con chasing old fame. Nobody's checking for someone trying to act like a legend when the world's falling apart. Real talk. Meech might have had his time. But now, that spotlight's looking real dim. But just when folks thought the drama was starting to cool down, 50 Cent did what he always does. He flipped the script. Out of nowhere, he started teasing a new move that could change the whole game again. On his Instagram, 50 hinted at launching a true crime docu-series, not just about Big Meech, but about everybody who ever crossed him. He said, "Y'all love stories, right? Cool. I got one for every snake that tried to bite the hand that fed him. Cold-blooded." Insiders say he's already got episodes lined up with interviews, paper trails, and exclusive footage that'll put multiple folks on blast, including Meech, Ross, and even a couple unexpected names from the rap world. Word is he's ready to burn bridges and build studios with the ashes. Meanwhile, Lil Meech has been dead silent. No new acting gigs, no music drops, and his social media been looking dry. Some fans think he's laying low, trying to ride the storm out. Others say he's waiting on Ross to throw him a lifeline, but so far, Rose's too busy taking jabs at 50 and flexing like he's got it all figured out. And Big Meech? He's been quiet too, but sources say he's furious behind closed doors. He never expected 50 to flip on him so hard, and now with this docu-series in the works, there's real fear that some skeletons are about to come flying out the closet. The tension's thick, and the power dynamic has shifted. Once upon a time, 50 was the one handing out favors and changing lives. Now, he's turning into the final boss of this whole saga. One move away from ending careers and rewriting the entire BMF legacy. Looks like 50 Cent wasn't lying when he clowned Big Meech, by calling him a wannabe Pablo Escobar. The idea that Meech is out here with so much pull that his little feud could actually mess with 50's bag? Come on now, that's straight up comedy. Let's keep it real! 50's gone toe-to-toe with way bigger names in the game, and not once did it put a dent in his account. From major labels to top-tier celebs, he's beefed with the who's who, and still came out richer every time. But of course, 50 being 50, he couldn't resist turning all this mess into a joke. He's been online trolling the whole situation, laughing off the broke rumors, and throwing slick shots like it's just another Tuesday. Still, it's got people talking. So let's ask the real questions. Is 50 Cent actually going broke? And if so, is it cause of this public beef storm? Or is Rick Ross just out here projecting, trying to distract from the fact that he's the one bleeding cash? Drop your take in the comments, cause this saga's got more twists than a soap opera. Then go ahead and hit that next video. Trust me, it gets even crazier.